Welcome to another episode of Relationships in Real Estate, your favorite live weekly podcast. I'm your host, Chris Silva, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful wife and star of the show, Cori Silva.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on R&R. Chris and I are the owners of Silva Realty, Silva Lending, Silva Property Management, and Happy Nest Holdings. With over 20 years in the real estate industry, we are here to share our knowledge, answer your burning questions, and connect with amazing people like you. Thank you for tuning in live today. We truly appreciate your support.
And before we dive in, we'd love your help to keep our podcast growing. Make sure to subscribe, download past episodes, and leave us a review. Your feedback means the world to us and helps us reach even more podcasting fans just like you.
Now let's get started with another exciting episode of Relationships and Real Estate. We're so glad that y'all are here. Well, welcome to the first week of February. We made it, folks. Who needs a breather from January?
Not me. I love long months. I know everybody's complaining like, oh, wow, November, December gone so quick, and then January just lagged on. Let's slow it down. Take your time. Do it right. That's how I feel. I love that January was a long month. I wish all months were like that. I wish we had, 30 hours in the day instead of 24. I need some more time.
You sound like you're fibbing right now because all I heard about is how you needed a breather. You're so busy. There's so much going on.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I want the month to end. I'd like some more time
It was plenty of time.
Relax.
It was almost overkill. I think it was just a bit overwhelming. Way too much stuff going on. But if you're joining us on our live show, it's Wednesday and it's raining. Yes. Mother Earth is cleansing itself. Thank goodness, because it's been a dirty year already. Clean things up.
I welcome all the rain.
Yes.
We need it. It's so weird because we've had snow already. Not here, but Antelope Valley had snow.
Yes, last week, right?
Last week, right? Mm-hmm. It's in the 50s all week here in Stevenson Ranch. Rainy for the next few days. I welcome it. I think everybody else does too. I'd love to see these mountains go from brown to green, and hopefully no more fires this year.
Hopefully. The second storm of the year has arrived. Chris is loving it. How do you all feel about it? I love the rain. I just don't like driving in it and dealing with people who forget how to drive when there's water on the road.
People lose their damn mind. I don't understand.
I don't get it difficult. Either. It's not that challenging. I mean, this morning we almost got hit at drop off. That was fun. By someone who just decided to make up their own lane and then
made their own turning lane. And
then just pull out in front of us, almost slam into us. That was fun. It was a good time this morning.
Yeah.
But aside from the traffic and people losing their minds on the road, I like the rain.
Yeah, I love it. You know what they should do in California? Before you get your driver's license, I had to take this for driving big trucks back in my heyday at the gas company. I had to take the Smith keys of driving. And it's basically teaching you how to have spacing and be a defensive driver, right? It's the best thing I ever took. I mean, I learned how to drive that way when I was like 19, and I've always driven that way. I don't ride people. If somebody's riding me, I don't mind. I just move right over to the other side. It's little things that you need to pick up, but if nobody's teaching these things, how do we expect people to learn them?
I mean, you do have to get your driver's license. People just throw that information out the door and they just get behind the wheel and go. I think in people's minds, they have so much going on and it's like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Everything like logical just goes out their mind when they get behind the wheel.
Listen, I'm running from one place to another all the time, right? I mean, we're in our car half the time showing property, right? Or going from one listing to the next. And I never forget that. I've always remembered that.
I'm not saying you forget it. I'm saying people in general, because why are there so many accidents on the road?
I'm just saying that it'd be good if they made people take this driving course or they added it to driver's ed for these kids in high school.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, on last week's show, we updated you on Chris joining me over at Orange Theory. And how is that going for you?
It's so funny that you asked that because today, I think somebody asked me at the end of class, like, how's it going? And I'm like,
No, they asked you, how are you liking it?
And I was like,
liking it? Yeah.
So
he's not even trying to fake the funk. He's like,
Look, listen, it's not what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. I've never done anything I did Afterburn before, and it's similar where you have your stats up on the TV so everybody can see. That was ridiculous. Like, I hated Afterburn.
Right.
Orange 3 is more my speed. I don't know if it's more for like going to say people in my age, but I feel like it is. I kind of like that actually, to be honest with you. You know, it's not like you go to the gym, you go to LA Fitness, and it's a bunch of young people taking up all the equipment. I like that it's structured.
Right.
I am appreciating that. I like that they work on things that I would never work on my own, like my glutes. I would never work on my glutes, right?
Chris is getting buns of steel, y'all.
About to quarter off my butt pretty soon. So I do like that aspect of it. And then today I noticed that I'm like constantly watching to make sure I stay in the orange zone.
Right.
And then you could regulate your breathing and keep yourself in the orange zone. If any orange theory people out there. So I like that part. And then I like to see like how many calories did I burn? Oh, how many splat points do I got? So I like that aspect of it. I didn't think I would, but I think that's my favorite aspect of it because it's making me work harder.
Yeah. Well, this morning when we stopped to get bagels for the kids, Chris said that he was just trying to make sure that he had the most splat points in the class. So he's like competing with other people in there. I'm like, honestly, I don't even pay attention to what other people are doing. I'm just trying to, number one, survive, make it through the class. Number two, like feel good and at least get 12 splat points because I'm only going against myself. And he was like, no, I'm not going against anyone else. I'm just saying, I don't care what everyone else is doing. I just want to be the best. I want to get the most. I was like,
I said it in that voice too.
That is the definition of competing with other people in the class.
No, but it's not like I'm looking at people and I'm targeting them. It makes me work harder to be the best in like have the best stats, I guess, in the class.
Okay.
It's just motivating me to work harder. Right?
Whatever motivates you.
Yeah.
You keep going. Keep going.
It wasn't just splat points. I wanted to burn the most calories too.
Okay. Well,
Mission accomplished today.
Well, mission accomplished. How many splat points did you get?
Like 27 today.
Wow. And how did that affect your morning?
Wore me out. I had to take a power nap. After we dropped off the kids at school, I took care of some work, took a shower, had a cup of coffee, true definition of power nap, went to sleep for like 45 minutes and then woke up with a lot of energy. So I feel good.
You did have another cup of coffee after that.
And have another cup.
That nap didn't really help that much.
I mean, I feel good right now.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got your little snoozy in for the day after a nice Orange Theory session. Well, how is everyone keeping up with current events?
You know what? There is so much going on
Every day. There's
it's
a
really
rundown.
It's really hard to keep up with it.
It's so hard. It's like a to-do list that I just don't want to look at. What is going on in the world today?
So much.
Right.
So much. You know, but I love that just hearing the different aspects from the same story, right? Because you'll bring up something and then I read that story already and it's like a different point of view, right? So I enjoy that. But yeah, I mean, look, we went from Biden literally lost his damn mind and he was lost. Nobody could even find him. He wouldn't even come up to talk to reporters. To Trump is just like nonstop from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. You know, we might have now the Gaza Strip, Greenland, Canada.
I can't.
There's a lot going on. I read some other story about, you know, Zelensky wants more aid for Ukraine, which I don't know how many billions of dollars the United States already given him. But Trump's like, you want the money? You guys have like 25 of the most precious minerals in the world. We want the rights to mine those minerals, right? So he's coming at it as a business point of view. Like he's running he's running the United States like a business. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but that's definitely what he's doing. Because all this stuff with the tariffs too, with Canada, Mexico, China, that's all on pause. But
Well, if you're checking the news this morning, online shoppers all over the country were crying in outrage because the USPS announced they would not be accepting parcels from China. So orders from Shein and Temu would be blocked. However, before the dust could settle, they've already reversed the position. So you have your opinion about all this stuff?
Well, listen, let's talk about how it affects local business, right?
Right.
Because we started our podcast in a little office and Long Kings, Steve from Long Kings, he gets most of his stuff. I don't know about all his stuff, but he gets a lot of his turf from China.
Right.
So I remember back then, it was when Trump was in office, there was tariffs, and he had to order in bulk before the tariffs took place because it was going to cost him so much money. So look, there's going to be a lot of pain before there's the golden era, you know, for a lot of people.
Yeah. Didn't Trump say that there's going to be pain for Americans or something like that?
I mean, listen, I almost cried a couple days ago. If anybody's in the stock market or in crypto, man. So tariffs were supposed to take place like on a Saturday, and the market crashed. And when I say crashed, I mean it like drove off a bridge or off a cliff and crashed. Like I think our whole portfolio went down by like 35% in the matter of like 2 hours. It was insane.
Wow. Sounds really great, right? All these things that are happening. So great. Well, in sports news, everyone and their mom is talking about this trade from the Dallas Mavs to Los Angeles Lakers. Chris, you want to tell us about this? Because you were all hyped up when you heard about this trade.
So it happened during family dinner.
Yeah, I know.
Right? I was chilling on the couch. I'm reading my stories, and I'm like, wait. This has to be a hoax. There's no way we got Luka Doncic for Davis, Anthony Davis, and a first round pick. That's impossible. That's like highway robbery. There's no way. This is a joke. So then I start looking at it more. I'm like, I think
You're
this
like,
is real.
Is this fake news?
Yeah.
Everybody has to question things now when you read it.
The crazy part is the guy who broke the story, the news reporter who broke the story, he broke it on X, on Twitter. And he had to post a second time and say, no, I was not hacked. This is real. Because everybody was like, there's no way this could be real. You know, so this kid, he is the best scorer ever for anybody at the age of 25. That's saying a lot. We've had on the Lakers by itself, we've had Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron, Kobe. He's the best scorer ever by the age of 25. He's been on like the all NBA team every single year he's been in the NBA, which is insane. So we get this kid in his prime, which never happens. That doesn't happen. It's never happened, I don't think, ever. And we have him in his prime, and everybody was wondering what's going to happen. LeBron's 40. AD can't take on the Lakers by himself, right? I mean, when's the last time you watched a game?
Yeah, I don't remember. So like right now when you're talking, I'm like, okay. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But when's the last time you watched a game?
When Kobe and Shaq were playing.
Kobe and Shaq were playing. What about when Kobe was playing? You didn't watch the games when Kobe won championships by himself without Shaq?
Oh, boy. Wow. Come on now.
I had my phone on do not disturb, and it's still ringing. It must be it's in the inner circle person. But anyhow, I silenced it.
Anyways, yeah, I was watching it when Kobe was playing.
So let's talk about that, because I don't think you're the only one.
Right.
I watched during COVID because there was nothing else to do. We were stuck in our house. That's when the Lakers won that last championship, right? And people say like an asterisk on it. And I haven't watched the Lakers in 2 years.
Right.
And I used to be a diehard Laker fan. Used to record games for me. Remember that?
Yeah, on VHS.
On VHS. I would tell everybody at work, don't tell me about the game.
I can't wait to get home.
I can't wait to get home. I want to watch it. I was
Stay up
diehard.
all late and watch it when you get home.
Yeah. I loved it, right? And I haven't had that excitement since Kobe's been gone. It just hasn't been there. And then I started watching games again when we had like all these young players that we were drafting, and then we traded them all to get Anthony Davis. But anyhow, now that Doncic is here, I might have to get myself a little Doncic jersey, go to a game, start watching them on TV. I'm excited.
Let's start by watching it on TV. You don't need to go to the game. You don't need to buy like swag, merchandise, all this.
You don't need to worry about me. What are you talking about? This shirt.
Don't take away your
this shirt, you guys.
Your joy.
I've had this shirt probably as long as me and Cori have been together. It's like 20 years old.
Who cares about that shirt?
My point is, I don't buy a lot of stuff. So
you
if
can
I
buy
want to buy
whatever you
myself
want.
a jersey, I'm going to buy myself a jersey.
You go ahead and buy yourself a jersey then. It's not about buying yourself something. I'm just like, okay, wow, like that's very extreme. They got the trade. Now you want to go buy a jersey, go buy tickets.
It's not extreme.
Now we just watch it on TV for a minute.
It's now we have
listen on the radio.
The hell? What kind of drugs are you on right now? What you put in your coffee?
Chick's gone, so it's not the same.
Yeah, that's when you wanted to listen to the Lakers when the Chick Hearns was there.
I know.
They still got Stu Lance, I think. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Stu Lance is still there.
Oh, no. I'm just giving you a hard time. Relax. Shoot. Next thing you know, you're going to be wanting to get like specialized shoes. Start buying some basketball shorts that are just Lakers. Like, I don't know. You're going to get matching socks.
I didn't say any of that. I'm just talking about getting a jersey. Yeah, I'll get a nice Lakers hat.
See, there he goes.
But yeah, looking to get a jersey. Look excited to watch a game. So I'm not the only one in this though, because I've talked to a few of my friends that are around my age.
Is there anyone else who's as excited as Chris?
Yeah. Are there any Laker fans out there that maybe you haven't really been watching the last year or two, and now you're super excited about Doncic, and now you're thinking about watching the game? Come on. I can't be the only one.
Know. Drop us a comment. Well, some other crazy headlines about homeowners insurance. What have you been hearing? I know I heard yesterday, actually, that the homeowners insurance commissioner, I think it was asking for emergency authorization to bump up rates by like 20%. Is that accurate?
Not cheap. That's exactly what I'm hearing. 22%.
Wow.
25%. So it's a wow for sure, right? Something's got to give, because we can't just keep passing the buck on to homeowners and then buyers.
Right.
And think that we can keep affording this, right?
Right.
Something else has to happen. So, insurance keeps going up and up and up. Maybe people start selling and moving out of California. I don't know. You got to really think about that.
I mean, you
right?
still have to have homeowners insurance outside of California. So then it gets populated there. And now what? They're going to raise rates in that state too?
Yeah, but
like there needs to be some type of regulation on the insurance companies.
Yeah, but if your rates are going up 25% from $1,000 to $1,250, or $10,000 to $12,500, it's a big difference.
Of course it is.
Houses are more expensive here, right? And there's people that do. I have friends that are loan officers that do loans in every state.
Right.
They're still doing a lot of business because they're doing state loans in states that the average house is $250,000. Mm-hmm. Out here, the average house is like $850,000.
Right.
So we're talking about first-time home buyers coming into this market trying to buy an $850,000 home, and it just keeps getting more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. With the rates going up, insurance premiums going up, it's scary times.
What do you all think? I want to hear some feedback about these homeowners insurance premiums, and even if you're getting renewals, because that's the other challenge. A lot of these companies, if they're planning on renewing with you, guess what? They're going to hike up the rates. So let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear it. Okay.
And also, if you're going out looking at property, I'd like to hear this too, because I heard a different perspective that I haven't heard at all till yesterday.
Okay.
I was showing property yesterday, some beautiful homes in Castaic. As you guys know, we just had a huge fire there.
Right.
Right. And one of the homes that I showed backed up to a mountain. Mm-hmm. And it's beautiful. Huge backyard, beautiful pool, mountain views, right? Literally backs up to a mountain. And my client's looking at it. Our client's looking at it. She loves it. And she goes, but I wonder how much insurance is going to be here.
Yeah.
And wow, it's really close to that mountain. I don't know if I want to deal with that with fires.
Yeah. These are all valid concerns.
Valid concerns. But these weren't people's concerns 5 years ago.
No, they're like open space. I don't have anyone behind me.
Right. No rear neighbors.
Maybe that's now a deterrent as opposed to a selling point. How's that going to have the effect on home prices too?
Yeah, I don't know. I think with home prices, because we didn't really see much appreciation in the last 2 years, it has really slowed down.
Right.
Right. I don't feel like it's going to tumble or anything like that. And what's really propping up the sales price or the home value prices is that there's not much inventory.
Right.
That's really it. If you think about it, what else is keeping the
market
prices
going?
The market going. It's the scarcity right now.
Right.
So if we
and now with so much less inventory for other areas that have been affected by the major fires out here, it's going to be really interesting to see how things change. Yeah,
it's going to be a really interesting year.
Yes.
So far, so good as far as like business. Business has been great, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. There's so many things changing daily.
Yes.
That you have to pay attention and continue to network and talk to, realtors, insurance people, right? Everybody in the business to kind of see what's happening.
Right. Absolutely. Well, catching up with the Silvas, Chris attended the Elite Awards, and we're just talking about networking. So do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because this is an award event that you go to with some of the top agents in Santa Clarita. Yeah,
it was fun. It was, to see who's like the next up and coming rising agent, who is Mr. Elite, Mrs. Elite. That's fun to see who wins that. I like seeing that. The mayor was there. Bill Miranda was there. He won like a lifetime achievement award. That was cool hearing Bill. He started roasting some of the agents in the.
Oh, that's always fun.
That was fun. Yeah, they gave him open mic, so he
ran
had some
with
friends
it?
in there, and yeah, he was talking about like how some agents market themselves really, really well, and there's this other guy known as Solar Tim. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And he goes, "How do you come up with that name, Solar Tim? That's all you got?" Like he was bagging on him about his marketing.
Wow.
It was funny. It was all a good fun. It was a good time. Yeah, it's it's nice to see what the landscape is with everybody. Our event was hosted at Toll Brothers over in Tesoro Highlands, which those homes are beautiful. They pretty much start at $2 million, but they all got evacuated.
Oh, wow.
All the people up there, up near Tesoro, which is basically on the other side of the mountain from Castaic. So all those people were evacuated. But man, there's those homes over there are selling quick. They've sold over 100 homes, and they don't have very much standing inventory. Nothing's like really built. Like everything that they're selling, you still have to build it there.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing, yeah. But anyhow, everybody had a good time. I'm proud to say that they had open bar there for 3 hours. How many drinks do you think I had?
Zero.
Zero.
Zero to hero.
This is my drink of choice right here.
There you go. H2O.
High
Water
quality
boy.
H2O.
Well, the kids went to the monthly All Pro Dads meeting with Chris last Friday. How was that? Because you always have a good time. The kids love going to hang out with their dad in the morning at school. Dad gets to go and brag about them.
It's fun. That's exactly what it is, right? So if you want all pro dads at your school, hit me up. It's throughout the whole country. I'll connect you with the president, and then he could get you a chapter there. But it's pretty amazing. So kids do not want to miss it.
Right.
We have, I don't know, I would venture to say at least 50 dads with their kids that come, right? We meet the last Friday of every month at Pico, and you get there, there's coffee, there's donuts, there's prizes, there's a raffle. We usually pass the mic around, and we let the dads talk about why they're proud of their child that month.
Right.
Kids love it. They're sitting there hanging on every word of their dad, and then everybody claps for him.
Yes.
It's great. It's a great way to brag about your kids. And then there's always some kind of life lesson, like a character trait, where we talk about integrity or, whatever it may be. And then we ask the kids, what's your definition of it? So it's, there's involvement and whatnot, but the kids love it. I think what they love the most is probably the raffle.
Probably.
But
what
they also
kid doesn't want to win prizes?
They also like to get bragged about,
Yeah.
Who doesn't want their dad talking about how great their kids are?
I know. How fun.
Yeah. And you know what's fun now too is I made a friend there. So like I'm hanging out with my buddy there now every single time. And then our kids get along. So then the kids are hanging out. It's fun. It's like an extra hour of fun for the kids once a month at school.
Love it. I love it. Well, I think, if you're interested, hit Chris up. He'll get you some more information.
Didn't you recently meet with one of our friends?
Yes, I did. Went over some design tips. So she had some questions like, she saw some of the videos of the listings that we've had that we staged, and she wanted some help with like certain parts in her house. Like, what should I do with this? So I went over there with some like design trends. And what I love about her and her home is that she already has like pretty much the basics down. She just had like little areas that she wanted to work on. But I love being able to like share our information from, the projects we've been working on, like our countertop person or someone who does lighting or someone who does drywall, like stuff like that, or someone who does construction to take down these big crazy mirrors that she has on her walls that she wants to get rid of.
Sure.
So it's nice because I got to go in there with her and just kind of tell her what I thought would bring a little bit more of like a finished touch in her rooms. And she's looking to go with like a Great Gatsby theme in her, like, I guess it would be like a lounge area. They have like their little mini bar and like a coffee bar in there for the adults.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun. I get to help her out.
So did she take some of your advice or what's happening?
She did. I gave her some information on different people, and there's like an accent wall she wants to do. So I gave her some ideas for colors, and so we'll see how it goes.
Look at you, little designer.
Oh, and I got to hang out with her, which was always nice.
Sweet.
I love spending time with my friends. Little session, catch up.
Well, the kids got to spend some time with their friends this
Oh my
weekend
gosh,
too,
these
huh?
kids had the best weekend. They got to go to the park 2 days in a row. And on Sunday, we celebrated Miss Zeah's 8th birthday, which was so cool. The kids got to go on a party bus. They
Wait,
had
what? A party
a
bus?
party bus. They rode around town in this party bus. Okay. I mean, you remember like early 20s going on a party bus for someone's birthday. It's a little different for kids now.
Listen.
Thank goodness they took that pole out the bus.
When I was a kid, our party bus was the station wagon. And you just got how many ever kids you could fit in there, that's the party bus.
Right.
You know, and I remember shout out to the Hicks family if the Hicks family is listening today. I remember Mama Hicks used to drive this big old Ford Bronco.
Right.
And that was a party bus too, because we all got in there, as many kids as you could get, and music's bumping, and she would drop us off at like North Hollywood High for like football practice. But that's what I knew as a party bus. That was your party bus? That was my party bus.
Okay. Well, this party bus was a little different. The kids got to go with a bunch of Zeah's friends for her birthday, and their first stop was at Topper's Pizza. So they got to have some pizza, which is cool. And then after that, the bus driver drove them around, and they're listening to music. And it's just funny because you could see the different character traits of different kids, and like how some kids are very outgoing and like into theater, and they're like singing every word to the Wicked soundtrack. And like really into it, right?
These are all 8-year-olds.
These are all 8-year-olds.
Wow.
Well, 8 and 10-year-olds because Zeah's brother's 10.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just interesting to see because all these little girls were belting it out, singing, and Nola was just sitting there watching them, like, like not really knowing how to react. I think,
well,
or she was just taking it all in. Like
she saw Wicked, but she's not like into Wicked.
Well, she knew one of the girls, the birthday girl, right? She didn't know the other girls. So she just kind of like taking it in, watching these girls. And Beth and I just kept looking at each other like, look at Nola. She's like, what is going on here? Am I at an actual event watching these girls perform? Because they had some really good voices. They were belting it out. I was like, wow, these girls are good. So we did that. And then they went to the park. They had a good time. They were playing at the playground. They did a little scavenger hunt.
That sounds
like
a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then we ended the party back at their house. So they sang happy birthday, had a piñata,
Sweet.
Things that 8-year-olds do. So that was a good time.
Yeah, hopefully our kids don't get any ideas. No party buses for them.
Right? I know.
Yeah. Yeah, no thank you. But Santino also had a 4th grade field trip, right?
Yeah, speaking of buses, so I got to go on the trip with him this time. Oh, and that party bus, I actually got to go on it. At first, I didn't think I was going to be able to do a ride, but I got to hop on because, there was extra room in there.
That made you feel better?
It did, because I don't know about you all, but it's hard for me to just like drop my kids off at a birthday party.
You can't do it.
Let alone in a party bus. Like, I don't know, like what if there's an accident? Yeah, so I was a little relieved I was able to go. But yesterday, Santino went on his second 4th grade field trip, and this time they went to Rancho Camulos, which is right over off the 126 in Fillmore. I think it's Fillmore. It's almost to Fillmore.
Either Piru or Fillmore.
Yes, and so if you haven't been, you got to go check it out. I've driven past it so many times, and I thought it was closed to the public because there's a closed sign there, but they're actually open on Sundays. So if you ever want to go over there, take in all the beauty that it has to offer. It's really, really nice and peaceful there. It's a historical site.
What do they do there?
There's so much to learn. The kids washed clothing, so they get like a history lesson there about ranchos, right? The kids are studying missions right now, and then the next phase they're going into is ranchos. So it's like all about California history, and the kids got to learn what it was like to wash clothing back like 200 years ago.
I'm more interested in, did they learn how to make tortillas there?
And they learned how to press tortillas. They didn't get to make them from scratch, but they did teach them how tortillas are made and the process involved. Like now people could just go to the store and buy a bag of masa, right? Add water or whatever they're going to add to it, some butter. No, like they showed how once they grew the corn, how they had to dry it out and then rehydrate it and then, grind the corn and then make it into tortillas. So the kids got to press tortillas while they're there. And then they also got to make adobe bricks. So they learned about all the structures and adobe homes and the benefits and the disadvantages of adobe homes. And so they got to make their own bricks. And then they watched a play at the end, which was cool. So they got a lot of history
It's so funny the roles that wives and husbands play, right? Because, earlier we were talking about the Lakers trade and you were just looking at me like, wah, 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 wah. And then right now I was trying my best
To keep your eyes open?
to keep my eyes open this whole time.
You were taking the second snooze of the day?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm ready for
Do
this
you want
next
me to
segment.
shut up?
No, I just,
AKA Chris said, shut up.
none of that stuff was our kid interested at least?
Oh my God, he loved it. Yes. There's
That's
like
all that
so
matters.
much culture and history there. And two of the ladies who were leading the tour, they're actually direct descendants from the original families who lived there hundreds of years ago.
What were the names of those families?
There was the Del Vals that lived
that's cool.
there. And then I forgot all the other names, but yeah, they were there. It was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Now,
I
do
think
those
that's why it
direct
made it that special.
Do the direct descendants actually own the property? They just work there.
No, one of them owns it. Like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
there's a Rubel family. That's the family that's there, but it's designated as a historical site, so you can't do anything with it. That's
cool.
pretty cool. But yeah, people have weddings there. That's how pretty it is.
Okay.
There's like a little church and like courtyard and
You know
all
what I
kinds
love
of
is
stuff.
that you're able to volunteer to those things.
I love it too.
I
And
love that
I
you're able to go.
I got to go on the bus too. There was a lot of parents who showed up. We had a good time.
I felt bad I couldn't make it.
No, you didn't. You just said it was so boring to hear about that place. You were like, score. I didn't have to go to.
No, but I still love to do anything that's involved with the kids at their school.
Yes.
But yeah, I would have been there watching our kid. I mean, that's the kick I would have got out of it.
Well, has anyone ever volunteered to go on a field trip with their children and ride the bus? Because sometimes they're like, well, there's no room on the bus. You got to just drive and meet us there. If you get the opportunity, please try to do it because it's so interesting to hear what fourth graders talk about.
What were
while
some
on
of the things
the
they were
bus.
talking about?
There was these two boys behind us, and I was sitting with another mom, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, I want to go set fire to da 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 da." This
Damn.
kid was talking about how he wanted to start a fire, and I was like looking behind me, like, "Who is this kid?" Because I want to report him in case there's any issues, And their dads were right behind me. They're like, "Oh yeah, you got to just wait till we get home and you can start the fire." It was like encouraging him to go start the fire later.
Maybe he's talking about a barbecue.
No, he was not talking about a barbecue. I looked at the mom like, are we hearing what we're hearing? Could not believe that he was encouraging him to start fires.
Oh, wow.
Little pyro. And then I ran into another mom and she was like, do you hear what they're talking about on the bus? I'm like, what? I have never heard the word death be brought up so many times. These kids keep talking about death. I was like, what? So random.
It's so funny because we go to the kids' school. We drop them off every day. We walk out and we're like watching them on the playground. And I'm always wondering, what are these kids talking about out there?
I don't think our kids are talking about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think our kids are talking about like dogs and
Playing chess.
and
Going to Barnes and Noble.
whatever book that they're
Whatever
reading.
book it is. Yep.
But who knows what they're really talking about? That's what we think they're
I'm
talking
going to
about.
ask them today what they talked
They're
about.
not going to tell you.
I know. Well, Chris held Silver King Trails open house over the weekend. And how did that go? Because I know the previous time you held an open house, it seems like people were a little bit later on getting out to open houses. Did that prove to be the same this time?
It was really random. So I did a 4-hour open house, which I usually like to do a 2-hour open house.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of strange because we had a tenant living in there. I wasn't able to show it for like 10 days.
Right. So you had to take it off the
I
market.
had to take it
for a
off the
little bit.
market. I had to put it back on. So I was like, you know what? I want a lot of people to be able to come. So I kept it open for 4 hours. And it was like Noah's Bagel. It's like dead in there or really busy.
Oh,
There was like no.
They came in waves.
They came in waves. There's no in between. But I messed up and I forgot to bring a chair. So
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I could just see you
so
like
then I'm just
leaning.
like I was like trying to get comfortable.
Just sit on the stairs.
I did
Oh,
for
but
a
they're
while.
wooden stairs, huh?
No, they're
They're carpet.
They're carpeted.
Okay, you got a little cushion
But
for
I was trying
that
to figure out
tush.
like how can I get comfortable? I got to work, so I'm trying to work on my laptop because I'm like it's 4 hours. I got to get work done. I can't just sit here,
Right.
right? There's zero reception there,
Oh boy.
right? I have Verizon, so it's like a dead zone up by Haskell and Copper Hill.
Right.
So then I'm like, man, nobody's coming for right now. I'm just gonna go outside of my car. I go out of my car, I get like 2 bars.
Ooh, it's like you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, so then I put on my hotspot and I started working on my laptop, and that was my office. So I parked in the driveway. Every time somebody came in, I saw somebody coming up. I get out of my car, I walk them in, talk about the house, sell the house, and then as soon as they left, I followed them out, got right back in my car, started working again.
Back into the office.
Yeah, so
Got to be efficient.
if we're still on the market on Saturday, that's what I'm doing again. We'll hold another
You
open
had a
house on
lot of
Saturday.
interest this past weekend, right? Someone said they were going to be writing.
Well, he said he was going to see if his clients could come up to that price because they got to qualify.
Okay.
And, we were talking about the same thing as, we got to check insurance too. See, before we wouldn't check insurance.
Nobody cared about that.
You just assume, it's $100, $200 a month.
You're going to get insurance.
It's fine.
Not a big deal. Now these are the issues that are, posing challenges with just getting an offer submitted, which thank goodness there's agents out there who are thinking about this and being proactive prior to writing the offer and then getting into escrow like, oh, we can't even afford this because it's $100 more a month.
Right.
Right. So
we'll see, but they had to sell a house to buy this house and they were in escrow. It fell out. That happens.
Right.
But if there's any veterans out there, this house that they're trying to sell, I'm going to hype up their house right now.
Right. Because you want to get them into Silver King. Why
Exactly.
not?
So the house they're trying to sell, there's a little community called Veterans Park. It's in Santa Clarita. I think it would be considered Newhall.
Yes.
Right. It's kind of near Bowman High School.
Oh yeah.
You know where that is? Right? It's across from Via Metro, right across the tracks from Via Metro. Anyhow, it's like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,600 square feet, built in 2000. Not too old, right? Sharing one common wall by the garage in the living room. Anyhow, it's only $570,000.
Wow.
It's dirt cheap.
That's amazing.
It's because you have to be a veteran to buy there.
Okay.
It's only veterans, all veteran park.
I love that.
So anybody looking for a place like that, we got plenty of veterans. Hit us up. Perfect place. And then they could go ahead and buy our property.
Yay. Well, Silver King Trail is still available, and we're going to go ahead and show you the video of this particular beautiful property that is located in Santa Clarita. Did you want to talk a little bit about the specs on this particular home?
Sure. So this is 2,188 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom with a huge retreat upstairs, which could be used as an office, a nursery, right? You could make it into another bedroom if you wanted to have a 4th one upstairs.
Right.
There's also a big office space downstairs. What makes it different between an office and a bedroom is there's no closet.
Okay.
But there's a full bathroom, tub, shower right next to it. So it's been used as a bedroom before by previous tenants. So it's really nice. $895. HOA is only $110. There's a community pool, park, and the whole community looks like this. It's really nice homes throughout the whole community. Check this place out. Looks like a model. Ooh, she looks like a model too. Look at that girl.
Stop. You're too much. It's so pretty in there. I love it. There's a lot of natural light in there, even with shutters, because sometimes the shutters take out the light, but no, it's just so refreshing in there.
So right now it's vacant, but
this is what it looked like when the tenant was still living there.
Yeah, with some furniture in it, right?
Yeah, and there's a balcony off the master,
right
which
off
is
the
really
master.
nice.
Huge walk-in closet.
And this is that room, that retreat, which they were using as a walk-in closet, which is super nice. I know some people have a lot of shoes. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, so $895.
Yeah,
I think it's a great deal.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we're gone by the end of this week. We'll see.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that one. If anyone's interested, reach out to us. We'll make sure we get you in for a private showing. And this past weekend, our buyers had their home inspection on Sunday, and there were some unexpected items that popped up. Do you want to share with us the importance of a home inspection and how to navigate challenges on home inspections that come up with major issues?
Sure. We had 2 home inspections, so I'll go over one that had some major
I think
issues.
I was thinking of the one that had the big issues.
So we had a house and a condo. So I'll tell you the difference, because condos, you're not really looking for much in a condo.
Right.
I mean, the HOA is almost responsible for everything. Right. Like any plumbing inside the walls, they're responsible for the roof, the whole exterior. When you're buying a condo, you're just responsible for the inside.
Right.
So luckily for this condo, it has a balcony. That's usually the problems with condos.
Right.
Right.
Like dry rot or termites.
Yeah, it's dilapidated, falling apart. And a lot of these HOAs don't have the money to fix those yet, right? So then there's a special assessment. Well, this one had a brand new, it's 3 years old.
Nice.
The balcony. It's already been replaced.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was a really, really clean home inspection. The only thing that came up was we had a termite report as well. That was $450 of dry rot at the door frame of the front of the property.
Oh, that's
It's like nothing.
So what about this other one though? Because you said there may have been a leak under the house.
There was.
Okay.
So
that might be super scary for people. They hear a leak under a house.
Well, this is why it's so important to work with somebody that has sold a lot of homes. We've sold hundreds and hundreds of homes. Has good inspectors, right? That can explain what's going on.
Right.
And also somebody that has knowledge about what stuff costs to fix.
Right.
Right? Because if you don't know, somebody could think like a leak under a house could cost them $10,000.
Yeah.
Right. So we're doing the home inspection. And when the leak popped up, I was like, you know what? Let me call some plumbers because maybe we can get somebody out here right now.
Yeah. To assess the damage.
You know, we had a plumber out there in 30 minutes.
That's amazing.
I know.
I know.
I mean, because agents don't do that.
No.
This is the stuff that we do, right? It's just like part of what we do.
Right.
Anyhow, yeah, so we got a plumber out there and, we assessed the damage. There was a leak. It was like the transition. It was like old galvanized. There's a union, which is like a fitting.
Right.
Into copper. So luckily the whole house is actually copper, except that transition from the exterior of the property that goes right underneath and starts feeding.
Well, that's
copper
good
line.
that it was just that and not something major.
Yeah, so it wasn't major, but it's a raised foundation, so it was muddy there. So we had to figure out what it was. So we got the plumber out there. It's like a $1,500 fix. Not bad.
Right.
Then we even had it scoped. Something you guys should do if you're doing a home inspection and that sewer line from your house to the front to the street, you want to get that scoped if the house is older because, it's probably clay. There could be like root intrusion, right? There could be a lot of things wrong with it, especially if you have a tree out there. You have to get it scoped. That extra inspection probably costs you $150.
And it's going to save you from many, many headaches in the future.
Realistically, it could save you $15,000.
Wow. That's crazy.
You have to do it.
You
right?
have to.
So yeah, we had a lot of stuff. Electrical stuff came up, but if you understand what's going on and you could explain it, then it's not so scary.
Right.
So we were able to negotiate a $3,500 credit for our clients.
Oh, that's awesome.
That should take care of most of these problems.
Amazing. Well, see, that's how you navigate through these issues. It's great.
It's not a big deal. And shout out to, I love to just shit all over Redfin all the time. And they've changed their business model there before of what they had. Before, Redfin was like the Uber of real estate.
Okay.
Like if you're an agent, you could get paid to host an open house.
Okay.
I think they still have that. But now with the market changing, they've changed their business model where they're actually recruiting regular independent agents like us to work for them. I get like bombarded by their stuff like every day about trying to recruit, But the guy on the other end, he's actually really good. And he understands that when we're in escrow together, yes, we negotiate against each other. Sure. They're doing the best for their client. We're doing the best for ours. But you got to have the teamwork if you want to get this deal done.
Yeah.
And that agent understands that because
good.
Our request for repairs was like $7,500. We settled at $3,500. Totally fair. That was our goal on our side. So I'm happy we got what we wanted. And I'm sure the seller was happy too that they didn't have to pay $7,500. Yeah. Everybody's happy at the end.
Everyone's winning.
So shout out to Tim Root making it work on that side.
Good job,
I'm
Timmy.
rooting for you, Tim.
Well, update on Oxnard and remodeling issues. Who would have thought installing new windows would be so challenging and such a headache?
What a nightmare. So we started talking about it last week. And listen, before we even get into the windows, I just want to talk about, and I want you to elaborate on this so I'm not just talking the whole time. How important is it to make sure that you're protected in a contract?
Make sure you read your contract and it matches whatever the salesperson told you and promised you that they were going to deliver to you. Because this is what happened with us. We were promised one thing, and then when we saw the contract, you're in a hurry. You want to get things done. How many of us actually just go and sign things off? I mean, they've already kind of programmed us to just accept, right? And now with DocuSign, people send you things, you don't read it, you just click. No, not me. I sat there and I read that contract and I was like, no, this is in disagreement with what they promised us. They need to make sure that they change this, and change that, and then I will sign your contract. So it's very, very important to read the fine print and just any of the print. Make sure that it is what the company promised you. And then make sure that that company is held accountable for what they promise you, even after they update the contract. Because we signed a contract on the items that we wanted to order for our windows, and they came out, they installed the windows incorrectly. They wouldn't even shut. The sliding door wouldn't even shut.
Right.
It was the wrong door. And they expected us to pay them almost the full amount because they installed everything per the contract. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You guys installed it incorrectly. And so just learn from these experiences that we're going through. I'm sure some other people have had challenges with dealing with contractors, whether it be new flooring, new windows, countertops, whatever it may be. We'd love to hear what challenges you've faced, or even if you have like a place that you love to go to for windows, because even though we have great people that we can refer, like a drywall person or an electrician or a plumber, windows, that's a new ball game for us. And I can definitely tell you who not to use, but I would love to hear who is a great window company out there. Yeah. Because there's some challenges out there.
And just getting back to this contract thing, because it's so important. I mean, extremely important. If we hadn't had them revise the contract, we'd be out of luck right now.
Right.
There's no way they'd be helping us if we already paid them 95% of what is owed. Instead, all we've paid them is $1,000.
Make sure that you wait until not only is the job done correctly, that it actually passes inspection for permits. Because we had our city permit guy come out, the inspector come out, and he was like, oh no, they didn't do this right. They need to come back out here and put all these waterproofing. They didn't do the waterproofing right.
The waterproofing wasn't done right to the city inspector's liking. And he showed me different areas that if we leave it that way, that there's going to be water intrusion to the property. And we're going to have to be, after we get all the work done, we're going to have somebody come out there and fix it later, which would be super expensive. So I like that we're going through the proper channels. I've learned so much on this build, on this remodel. And it just helps us. It's like more tools in the tool belt to help our clientele, which I love.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're going through it too. I think so many people are like, oh, you got to get permits. And now I understand. Like, thank you that we have to have permits. How would we have known that the waterproofing was done incorrectly until a major rain comes and now we have like water damage all throughout the house? What if we just trusted that this company did what they said they were supposed to do?
But look, on the flip side of that, I understand why people don't want to get permits, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're scared if they go to the city, what if the city makes me do something else? Or how much are they going to charge me? What if I need to get plans for this?
Well, which they do.
Right. Well, so then it could get really expensive, and maybe you just want to change your windows out.
Yeah, but over time, what would the cost have been if we would have not got permits and just put in these windows, relying on this company thinking that they are doing what they want, eventually you're going to have to pay for mold remediation, to redo windows, So I understand where you're coming from, but I'm also trying to look at it from a different standpoint and look at the silver lining. Like, okay, I know it stinks that we have to pay all these permit fees, but there's a reason why, and it's there to help protect the homeowner, I think.
And if you're looking at doing remodel and you guys have questions, like, we'll give you whatever information we can, and don't be afraid to get permits.
Right.
I think it's a great thing, but depending on what you want to do, sometimes you have to get permits, which it's not that expensive. I think to permit, like, how many ever windows we changed, like 15 of them or something. Mm-hmm. The permit's only like $350.
Right.
It's not bad at all. And then we'll have history of that. And nowadays with insurance, you guys.
Oh, they want to see the permits.
They want to see the permit when you get something done at the house. And all these things like new windows, new roof, all this stuff, it actually will help you with your insurance cost.
Right.
So it's really important to have. Now, some stuff might require you to have plans. So at that point, then you got to decide what you want to do.
Right.
But I'm on your side of the ball, mm-hmm. where I want to make sure that it's done the right way. I don't want to get stuck later. I want to save money and save time by doing it right the first time.
Right. And when you talk about plans, I know that might sound intimidating to a lot of people, like, oh, I have to have these professional plans drawn up. No, I hand drew some plans of the house and just wrote each room. It's simple. You just have to follow the steps. And they know that there's homeowners who are just trying to do simple things to their house.
And also, again, make sure to call us, because I actually had a discussion about this the other day, and people get ripped off all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't need to give people boatloads of money up front to start work.
Right.
You hire a contractor, it's $1,000 up front.
That's
and
the
then
max
progress
they could charge
payments.
you. Yes.
Anyhow, you have any questions, you give us a call about that stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Tanya's here with us. Hey, Tanya, thanks for always showing up and showing your support. We appreciate you. She said, hey, Cori and Chris.
Hello.
Thank you for being here with us. Well, Santino got moved up in jiu-jitsu to the big kids class, which is super exciting.
And scary.
And scary. He came out of class yesterday talking about how it's an earned privilege. He said, it's kind of like I'm trying out to see if I could be in there. I don't know for sure if I'm in there yet, but I have to go all the time. It's not for these people who just show up, once a month, Mom. Like, professor told me, like, if you want to be in this class, then you need to show up all the time and give it your all. So he's taking it very seriously.
Listen, I talked to him. He's the youngest kid in that class.
Right.
As of right now. Mm-hmm. That's scary.
Yes.
It's a hard sport. It's a martial art. It's a hard martial art. It's not easy. You put in a lot of work. I asked him the other day, because he had just recently joined chess club. And I'm like, checkmat, chess. Like, what do you like better? Do you like checkmat or chess? What do you like going to better? He's like, chess. I'm like, really? I was shocked by the answer, right? Because he's been going to checkmat since he was like 3.5. He was like, yeah, Dad, chess is easy.
Really?
Checkmat's not easy. You know what I mean? Going to jiu-jitsu is not easy. I go, okay, I get it, but you're still going to jiu-jitsu, so it don't matter.
Keep going, kid.
No matter if you want to go or not, you're still going. That's like the one rule in the house. Got to keep going to jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
It's just like that one. It's the foundation of everything else that they're doing. So
Chris loves to incentivize going. He's like, all right, when you guys come out, you tell me how many chokes and submissions you got, and I'll give you $1 for each choke.
They get $1 for each submission, right? So Nola's like, you owe me $2, Dad.
Yeah,
she was
so
excited.
Cute. She is so cute. Well, we were talking a little bit about chess, right? And the kids went to an open chess tournament. It's like a practice. They have them at Barnes and Noble twice, I think, a month on different days. And so they were super excited about it. And Santino's been teaching Nola how to play chess. So she got out there and she was playing with him too. So I think she's probably going to join next semester. We'll see how it goes.
I love it. So she really wants to beat her brother.
Yeah.
That's all she cares about. He taught her how to play Pigs and Farmers.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have ever played that game, it's really fun. You play with the queen and a bunch of pawns. And so I was playing with her and I was like, I'm going to teach you how to beat your brother, baby. She played him right after. Guess what? I set it up. We're at the kitchen table. Tino was watching, I think, Lord of the Rings. So I was like, Tino, you sit right here. Nola, you come sit next to Daddy.
So he wasn't paying attention?
I had him watching the TV while he was playing Nola.
That's messed up.
I know, it's messed up, right? Diabolical. And she beat him.
Well, yeah, he's watching TV.
So what?
So what? Maybe he'll pay attention next time.
Maybe he'll pay attention next time. But it's the first time she ever beat him. She was so excited.
How did he react?
He was fine. I mean, he doesn't like to lose, And I told him, I'm like, you should be happy she beat you. You want that level of competition so you get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So I'm like, she'll start beating you at Pigs and Farmers, and then maybe she'll beat you at chess eventually. And then I want you to be able to beat me. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I got to start playing with him a little bit more, though.
Yes, absolutely. Well, coming up, we have International Night at Pico Canyon on Friday. It's our favorite event of the year at school. And it's just great because all the cultures are celebrated. We have like the most diverse school in all of districts in Santa Clarita, which I love. And everyone's celebrated. The kids get to get up and they do performances. Then the parents and the kids help make food. Each participant who goes to International Night gets a passport, and we get to go to each country. Well, they have little booths set up. You go to each country in the NPR, and you get a stamp based on whatever country you went to and learned from. So I'm really excited about it.
I love that event.
And the kids love it too.
It's my favorite event too.
Yes.
I love seeing all the performances on stage. We see like some cultures I never even knew about doing like dances on stage or performances on stage. So it's a good time. I like learning the history of different countries and really talking to the parents and learning the parents, like how they came here. And, because a lot of people, their kids are the first generation American.
Yeah.
So which is great. It's my favorite event. It's this Friday. We're going to have a great time. And I'm sure I'm going to be chasing the kids all over the place because, they're going to want to be with their friends the whole time.
Oh, yeah. They're going to have so much fun. They can't wait to see Mason perform.
He's doing K-pop, right?
Yeah, he is. Oh, I'm excited. And then family dinner every Saturday. We always look forward to our family dinners. So it's going to be really great getting together. Tanya will be there. And if Lulu's watching, Lulu will be there too. So I'm excited.
This last family dinner. So you guys, we're like the old school family where when you're around the table, somebody's getting bagged on. We're making fun of somebody at the table, right? And my youngest brother, Christian, if he's watching, he's working, so he's probably not. He loves to dish it out.
All the time. Christian knows no wrong. He's
never
always right. He's been like that since he was like 8 years old.
Yeah,
the first day I met him.
He never turns it off. He's always right. I think it's funny. It doesn't bother me at all. So he recently won a truck, a sweepstakes for like a rebuilt truck from like the 60s. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's diesel and it's a stick shift, right? So Christian never learned how to drive stick. He said he knew how to drive stick. I don't know when.
He's like, yeah, I know how to drive it.
So,
but mind you, he's had the truck for like 2 weeks now. So the week prior, Jocelyn said she was in the truck going like this the whole time because he couldn't get he didn't know how to switch the gears.
Right. So imagine not knowing how to drive stick.
And it's a big
and you have
old
this
truck.
huge old tank, right? So it's so funny because he had told his girlfriend at the table, he's like, yeah, I took it out earlier today. I think I did pretty good. Like I guess he took it out early, probably before she woke up.
Before anyone was on the road, because that's the only way he could drive
because he felt comfortable driving it with nobody on the road.
Right.
And he's like, I only stalled like 20 times. I'm like, 20 times? He's like, yeah, it wasn't that. I mean, that's a lot of times to stall. I've been telling him, dude, rent a stick shift car and let's learn in that car, not in your brand new, you know what I mean? Like messing up your transmit, your clutch. So he goes, it's just the hardest of, getting the car started, like getting it going from being in park, right?
He's like, when I start off in second, I'm like, wait, what? Did you just say you start in second? He was like, yeah, that's how I do it. And I was like, I know you. Okay, that makes zero sense to me. What's the point of first? And he was like, well, I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. So I watched on YouTube and they said you start in second. I'm like,
He's
what?
like, I saw 10 YouTube videos. They all said you got to start in second. And it's like a cheat code to start in second. And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Me, Cori, my brother Patrick, we all learned how to drive with the stick shift. That's how we learned.
Mm-hmm. In first gear, you go. That's how you
start. In first gear.
Like, what is the point of 1 and then 2?
So he's watching all these YouTube videos of millennials that had probably never even driven a stick shift that are saying, oh, you start in 2. That's the cheat code. So that was pretty funny. I got to make some time. I really want to go out there and teach him how to drive his own car before he sells it because he doesn't know how to drive it.
Yeah, he's
it's a
at that
beautiful
point
car.
where he's like, oh, I don't even know. But yeah, Christian had us busting up. And then after that, he was just the brunt of all jokes the rest of the night.
He was a good sport because we let him have it all night long.
Oh my goodness. Well, Tanya's cracking up. She said she'll definitely be here this weekend. And she said Christian is freaking hilarious. Oh my goodness. Well, who else remembers their first car? Was it automatic or stick? Because I think a lot of cars, when we first started driving, they still had stick shift.
So I remember your first car. What was your first car?
It was a blue Honda Civic hatchback. It was so cute.
Did you have power windows?
No, you had to crank those babies. Didn't even have AC.
I was going to ask, did you have AC?
No AC. And I think I had one of those detached plates for my radio. Remember that?
Yeah, you take the face off?
Because you did. Well, back in the day, they would actually pull out the whole radio. But yeah, it was just a face plate. So no one could steal your stereo.
Right. They wouldn't want to steal it without the face.
Yeah. And I remember one of my friends had made one of those big boxes in the back for my speakers so I could bump.
Yeah.
That was great.
Cori would boogie on that little thing. It was a little hatchback. She'd pick me up because I didn't have a car, which Papa didn't like too much. That you
No,
were
my
picking me
dad
up.
did not like that.
Yeah. So my first car was a 1981 Datsun Maxima station wagon.
Was it stick too?
No, but it was my first like legal car.
Oh, that's right.
You know, like that I owned under my name.
You had to roll the windows. I remember that. And one of the doors didn't work.
The back passenger didn't work. And then every day, just to get the car started, I'd have to put starter fluid in it.
I just remember that car not being able to see out the windows.
It was bad. It was
It
all
was a
bad.
bad.
You know,
a bad car.
my favorite memory of that car though is putting a Christmas tree on it.
Yeah.
Remember that? We were
was
buying Christmas
fun.
trees back then together, like 30 years ago.
Oh, to make it special for your brother and sisters, or your sister and brothers. Sorry, it's been a long morning already.
Been a long morning. Huh?
Been up since 4. Well, everyone, that's going to be our show today. Thank you again for hanging out with us here on R&R Relationships and Real Estate. Be sure to catch us here weekly on Facebook Live, or you can watch the show on YouTube. And to listen anytime you want, you can download full episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. We're your hosts, Chris and Cori Silva, and we will catch you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.